Hesham, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations on your latest work with Marvel, Eyes of Wakanda. Um, love the series. I love the episodical adventures that our characters go into. And of course, it's nothing without the score. Tell me a little bit about your work.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. And yeah, first, I gotta say, I enjoyed the episode and the story and the characters as much as you did, and all the fans did. Really, and I was really taken by how dynamic and colorful and it's extremely interesting. The all the adventures, all the endeavors, all the the sub storylines, and uh, and I must say, given that this is the first time I do a score for an animation, it was it was a bit of a learning curve, because I started writing music when it was just animatics, and then they started to send me the more developed picture, and then I started to see the colors coming and the movement coming up, and then I arrived to the very late stages when I saw the stunning visuals. So it was a developing love affair between me and the series and the picture. So yeah, it was it was a very interesting one of the most interesting things to me that doing thing for a first time. There's a there's a what do you call that, stage fright
A little bit of anxiety, maybe?
or something like it. When you said, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't think I can do it. And then when you jump in the air when you're airborne, oh, I'm doing it. And so yeah, so this is how it happened.
Being that it was your first time working with animation, and I'm not sure how your workflow goes, if it's episodical or if you're working at a bunch of them at the same time. Did your workflow change a little bit from the first episode to the last?
Episodical. It was episodical. Well, yes. Well, in the first, everything seemed uh, new, and I felt so not knowing how to pick my tools and how to go. What are my first steps? Where to go? And reaching the final episodes, it felt more comfortable and more yeah, uh, relieved because you're more at ease. You know, when you get to know that you're on the right track, you did the right thing, and you enjoy it. The most important thing that I have enjoyed the process all the way up until the last episode.
How fun, just expanding your work, your toolkit and your workflow, and
Yeah.
now you know how to work with animation, especially with Marvel. For those that don't know, in Eyes of Wakanda, we see some of our characters really interact with different places in history around the world. I thought that was brilliant. What kind of fun did you have scoring for really different cultures as our characters from Wakanda went through, you know, around the world?
I found myself writing Asian music, African music, and I found myself in queues writing African music, African inspired music colliding with Asian inspired music in one queue, in one fight. And that was really incredible. And some queues I had to write Greek
Mhm.
uh, music, and all that happened BC. I mean, thousands BC. I mean, before in very ancient times, and it was all happening in the Wakandan realm and in the Wakandan atmosphere, and it was as if I jumped into an ocean of untouched stones and materials and tools before to me, and it was this is where the magic uh, lived. I mean, because it's the most important thing to me is to uh, uh, while working every day is that this feeling of I'm searching for something, I'm scratching the surface looking for something. So yeah, those different uh, cultures and places in the world that I had to deliver musically was like great fun and great learning experience too.
Yeah, it seems like it would be.
I can say I was so before that. I can say I was so knowing each style of this music. So I had to learn beforehand and listen to, you know.
Any particular sounds or instruments that stood out to you from any particular cultures in working on the show?
Well, yeah, yes. I have recorded lots of vocals, African vocals, in the African percussions, reeds, flutes, strings, Asian strings, and percussions, and it was full of the one that you would call ethnic elements, and the alloy of bringing all these uh, elements all together in one single track or one single scene was really to me it was captivating. So because it was so I wouldn't have imagined that in one day I was gonna write Asian music or it's it was great to it was a great experience.
Yeah, and you add more sounds to your toolkit, which then you can take on to future projects and
Yeah,
create more unique sounds for, and I think that's
yeah.
amazing. One thing I did want to ask you, in working with Marvel, they have kind of a set sound sometimes for certain properties. Wakanda, of course, has been established. We've seen two films with that specific franchise culture. Does it make it easier or a little bit more challenging when there's already that foundation to what that's supposed to sound like and what maybe the kinds of sounds that Marvel uses as a whole going into this project?
Definitely not easy, especially in the case of Wakanda, because looking at how great the score of Black Panther and the Wakanda Forever, this incredible music. So it was kind of helping out to me to get to know that it is possible to do something really great to this kind of story, yet doing something different, departing from it was another adventure for me. I had to brainwash myself first and convince myself that this hasn't been done before. This is the first time that someone ever will write music for Wakanda. So, and that someone is me. So I need to put all this great stuff that's been done before aside to come up with something that is, you know, personal for.
Yeah, I understand. Amazing. Final question. In this being your first time working with animation, what was your biggest lesson you'd say you're going to carry over to, let's say, another animation project, whichever that may be?
Expect greatness from picture, expect magic. Yes, one of the incredibly great feelings about this is that you build a tie, emotional tie. If it's a live action, the person is there, the actor is a real person. But in animation, there's no one there. It's just a drawing. And I felt I was in love. I've developed emotional ties with Noni, Manon, and all these lovely characters, and yeah, that's the magic of storytelling.
Amazing. Well, it's a great series and it was a great time. Hesham, thank you so much for giving me some insight on your work. I think it was great. Also, I love Moon Knight quite a bit. It was really nice to talk to you and I hope to travel to your land sometime soon because I that's like I told you before the interview, Cairo, Egypt is one of my top
Yeah,
destinations
yeah,
to go.
yeah. You have to come, my friend. You have to come, and please do
Absolutely.
let me know when you're here.
I definitely will. And
Yeah.
thank you again. It was really nice to virtually meet you, and hopefully we'll chat again.
Thank you. Sure. Me too.
Take care.
Likewise. Thank you.